Sentinels.
Good round pistol here. You see them with nobody watching over towards A long as Sentinels were trying to sneak up C. The game was given away.
Yeah, smoke is propped up in the face a second, but it's still util ready and waiting over the shoulder. Here's the fault line. The relay bolt just ricocheting wildly. It's going to be that split in through, but still they don't have backside control. EDG making sure to flood in with a couple of players, but the pause is called and an evacuation by SEN. They don't want anything to do with the C site.
Where are they going though? Because Kang waiting here on B gets caught.
No way, Sheriff in his hands. It felt like he was almost good for the one, but with him dropped, EDG gearing up for a bit of an attempt through this one, just biding their time, waiting in the smoke, and they hear the rumble of the footsteps. Nobody is going to be tested. A lot to overcome into this spot with the movement. Clean up and over, but here comes the pincer. Crunch from behind, EDG. Leaving no stone unturned. They cleared away mostly through, and Sassy's now the one who has to hold down the line.
Ten's got stuck on that pivot. Sassy sees them, stun.
It's a pixel angle that he's working with here, but the damage is being dished out. Sentinels left scrappy, and it's down to Zelsis trying to tap with the ghost. Not enough. We called down.
All-star operator.
Yeah. Attempt as well
Spike down
from
B.
Sentinels to see if they can get that easy plant down, but it's already read by EDG.
I think a really crucial strategic tool for Sentinels is going to be applying pressure to nobody. You see how he's just holding A long in this round on his own. Sentinels need to be able to shove him off, and EDG have lots of different ways that they can trap around this. It's getting not risky so much, but economically damaging, and in the midst of all of this, Tens has snuck his way in a little.
Yeah.
Given away his position, unfortunately. Kind of had to.
I don't think there should be any danger here unless Tens was able to lurk his way behind.
30 seconds left.
But you can see that the EDG players are willing to take these fights. And it has been an expensive round.
Yeah. Softened up.
John's running away with 1 HP, seeing what other mischief he can get up to.
The cage, okay, shot down. Just removing the drone. Cage up into his face. We'll have to use the stun to slow down any approach from SEN in case the punish was there.
Smoggy still has paranoia in his hands as well.
Yeah, he's not giving up the space. Kang could thrive into this spot and position a bonus round conversion in his side. Still, flash has to be avoided. Still gets the one. Great adjustment and snap back with a crosshair placement. 40 seconds left for Sentinels, and the question remains, which way are they trying to land? And NeuroFF will give them critical information to work with.
And it looks like they're going to group up over towards A, but that's still where Smoggy and Simon are.
30 seconds left.
No easy openings, 25 seconds left. Jump spots. Smoggy sees it, catching it. A lot of information gathered. Fault line is good though. Just concatenates on top, and Simon just trying to play this tight angle. Blinded up from the side, still lands that shot. Traded though, plant down for John QT, nothing to push this one back.
Ridiculously good supportive utility there from Zelsis and Tens.
Nobody's going to be praying that somebody opens up wide, but up onto the heaven angle. Zelsis, who's claiming that one, dropped down. Double digits of health, but there's only Chichu left with the Bulldog. They hear the reload. It gives Tens the prime opportunity to just pre-aim onto who they've actually bested. But for me, I've been paying attention to how they've been trying to play. And look at this, bit of a trap play setup, but stun missing. Hello, accidental kill. Right through the wall, bit of unfortunate action occurring, at least for John QT, not unfortunate for EDG.
But they respam it, and so both teams come out of that fairly similar. But with the Cypher down, this opens up different options. EDG could now try to push aggressive and get flanks off against SEN. And SEN could group up and go for a big site execute onto C, where the Cypher's now got no utility. EDG don't choose the aggressive option, though. They're keeping players anchored to C to try to make up for that fact.
Nobody has the rifle. Nobody has the rifle, but as he's looking for that information, I mean, that's what happens when a drone is used a little bit prior. Didn't have it to try and safely garner it. At least there's going to be relay bolts as well, and space given. Yeah.
This is ridiculously good from SEN. That lurk timing from Zelsis is marvelous.
Wait
but
a
it doesn't
second.
matter.
Yep, and Smoggy's right back in there. The paranoia is already sent out. That's preemptive. Outlaw in the hands of 140. Zekken down to the double digits, but still alive for now. Glides to the side. And he is the spearhead. Literally in this case, man. Cracks open the C site, despite the resistance that EDG were trying to put up.
They're looking to try to take the gun.
Yeah, they understand the importance of this one. Sentinels thinking ahead.
Bye-bye.
Second, head clean off.
Go, go, go.
Sen realize it. They're in danger of just being trapped. Going down to the spike, so they're going to do a bit of a mad dash. But it does bring us down now, at least 2-2 in terms of the rounds.
And it's nobody, the newer IGL for EDG, that actually gets the wrong recap when you're in that position. Perhaps he should have dropped off site, but nobody is a very confident player. And we're going to see this version of EDG's trap being run on their eco.
Trouble is Kang who's going to be falling prey at second. Glides his way forwards to a nice little win, and he's covered over the shoulder once more by TenZ. Spraying away, it matters not about that paranoia. Smoggy, they know he's playing somewhere nearby. It's all about clearing them out. They've got that diligence, TP up and over, and certainty for Smoggy. Just the one before he's dropped.
All of the coordination working really brilliantly there for SEN. That additional pause that Zekken throws into things just to allow TenZ on top of the box. They've been doing a lot of that. In a 4v1, Chishu once again finds himself in a spot that's simply unwinnable. 9 HP.
Listen, it's a nice shot under Sassy. But with Sentinels now taking the lead, and they are surrounded on multiple fronts.
Simon's a little far away to deny this plant with his ult. Is he going to rip it?
30 seconds.
Yeah,
left.
well, the stun at least does connect. He doesn't let the ult go. Aftershock is a little bit delayed there, lighting up onto second, but still the plant is down. Hunter's Fury trying to layer this one down along with the Rolling Thunder. Cacophony of ultimates, and it is coming up to fruition. JongQT there holding onto the corner. Simon with a reposition and does account for it. JongQT dropped down, just can't reset the aim in time. 2v2. A tap. Neurofep reveals it. Fights to be taken down to that 1v1. And Chichu now going to be getting that information. Sassy is revealed with the shots fired off as well. Jump spot, pulls him off. No half in sight for Chichu. He's tapping away as well, praying for those stray shots to hit Sassy. Might need to swing this one. Chichu! Unable to survive.
No, at this point, Sentinels are absolutely running away with it, assuming they can convert the anti-eco.
Kang might have something to say with it. Jump spot in through the sprint and the glide. Fully accurate, nobody. Not long for it. Hot shots fired by Kang. He's praying that he can land at least one of the targets, hit one of the domes, but all the signs of life that Sen do see to cause him to scurry.
Yeah, you've seen 3 players over on this site. You know that there's max 1, the Cypher, playing elsewhere. They're going to leave TenZ inserted. He's always got that Omen ultimate to be able to go back to the rest of his team. But he might end up just walking backwards into Kong. No.
Okay, broken.
Cancels.
Wait a second. Kang.
Oh.
Oh, and accounting for it. They've missed each other.
But he's not watching.
Not watching at all, and still damage is done to second. Softened up from the prior engagement still. TenZ striking from behind. The trade is online. They might want to make their moves now over towards A, but already bodies are rapidly approaching. The trouble is EDG do not have the guns for the job.
And Sentinels can backfill all of this space up to where TenZ was, because they know it was only Kang that went through.
Bloody hell, I mean, the fault line's dodgy here. Simon, there's plenty of chances for him still. He is landing them. The Sheriffs are singing right now for EDG. Defensive smoke. A lot of uncertainty for Sentinels. They can feel it. They're going to try and bail themselves out of this one. The Rolling Thunder is committed. Simon tucked to the corner, but stunned out. There wasn't much he could do into that spot. So
reinforcements. Is he going to be fast enough with a smoke?
Not going to be broken here. The Hunter's Fury clears its way through and back and around here. The fault line was dodged by Chichu. Has found himself and carved out a little bit of a pocket and space to play around. Paranoia still here, but the aftershock is way too much. Just singeing his feet. Chichu just couldn't stand still amongst most of that fire. Second offloading it with the overdrive. Peppering them, some stray shots. EDG are going to need a pick to see if they can make this one doable. Zekken overextending ever so slightly, but still he's good for the kill as well. They're tracking! They just can't get a handle or any sort of control on him. It's precise. Kang almost there. Could have provided a chance, an opportunity, but Smoggy's been left alone into the 1v3, and TenZ takes back up that position. Low enough as well, but again, surgical by TenZ.
Takes a little more space towards mid. They're being very cautious on these anti-eco Sentinels. They don't want to get tripped up. But it is incredible that EDG have only won the pistol and the follow-up. Where's the punish here? Where's the cover?
Yeah, nobody watching, just in case that was that punish here. Chichu, a couple of shots, backs away with his life, but just pulling apart the EDG defense. Second, built up by the camp, stunned up at that. Unlikely to see that follow-up. The more the time does get dragged down to the finer moments. Might see opportunities for EDG to strike. Aftershock pushing them back and away from the plant. Zellsis going for round 2, needs to be covered. And TenZ has it. Pushed up, high ground angle. Chichu dropped, nobody. Off onto the extremity, flawless from Sentinels. You can say actions if he gets peeked.
I mean, he's also going to get pressure from Garage unless Chichu can hold that off.
Drone sees it. Off spotted. Out for Garage now. Pins to play by Sen. Try and make their moves in through the C site now. Ball cuts it up. You can see there's an awareness at the back of the heads of Sen. They're worried about this operator in play. At work. Paranoia is used to clear most of the way alongside the dart. There's many waves to the util. Celsius with the plant. Will get his ult online from this one. Everybody grouped up from EDG, setting themselves up to try and play for the retake, but it's preemptive. Sen using this to try and strike. Chichu's there. Offset though, nobody covering it. An overextension by Sentinels. Now it's up to these remaining players if they can pick up the pieces, but the stun is immaculate and the spray down. Sentinels trying to make it feel like they could be retaking over towards A lobby. Dart's going to be used side by side though, shoulder to shoulder. These players unaware that they've crossed up. And Smoggy now isolated. He's on an island through the back of the site. The Utah once more. It is impeccable. Trying to dodge and weave around from this play. Chichu and Simon now. It's a quick flood attempt in through the back. Picking up these rifles in their hands. At least with the upgrades. Hunter's Fury scatters through. Fights to be taken by EDG. That could be set up for success on most of it. Sprayed down. And with the Hunter's Fury dropping John QT.
Put together. Called his bluff. Hits everything perfectly.
The pistol round and a few stray gun rounds. What a shot! Kang. Flexing his muscles. Second. My God, yeah, TenZ is as well, but they don't realize and anticipate. Okay, Chichu is going to get dropped here right through the smoke. CDG trying to attempt to flood their way through. Nora reveals all. And TenZ will make full usage of it. Paranoia. Connection. Movement from Kang is the only surviving element. And praying for a shot to connect there to make it just a little bit more winnable. But for Sentinels, primed and ready for that 8th round. Just a shorty to work with. There are so many angles as well. Got to be worrying about the high ground where TenZ has been perched up. It's a double hold out through the back. The cam tagging him. You have to play into this round as a last chance in the half. But it's futile. He's been given nothing. Toyed with darts. He's having to deal with it all. It's all being dished out. One last hurrah by Sen. And that time, fully against him. A bit of a flourish, but still 8-4 Sentinels. Yeah, not just that. Fault line, Zellsis. He's got it primed. So it's going to be used. An eye for an eye here with a U-turn. Kang! He's right there, still surviving, still kicking. And he wants to take even more away from them. 2 removed before the trade is intact, but Zekken still here alive. Worried about this flanking play, but the adjustment is there, at least with the micro aim. Drops Chichu. He's still the thorn in their sides. The Paranoia sweeping through. Zekken plays his life. Sassy opens himself up in through heaven. There's chances here and accounted for. Nobody's seeing it. The trade though, nobody. Great adjustment. And they're aware that Zekken was playing down towards here. There was not enough distraction to give him an in. Win cons are narrow at that. Simon. Off angle, just can't drop in. One bullet will do it. Zekken somehow still alive in the midst of all of this. One's about to hard. Still the movement. Just couldn't escape
here. This should be a normal, like, reacting to A, no problem, easy call.
They're going to go for that. So EDG open. Still a little bit worried as well because the defensive smoke. Zellsis has found Chichu. That does give away the gun, but got to imagine with side control, EDG as well. Spades at a util. Kang.
They're worried about the flank. They're thinking about pushing spawn and flipping the map. They decide not to, and it turns out that's the right call because most of Sen are back.
Time's going to start ticking here. An advantage should still be for EDG. Got the guns, TenZ, okay. That's ridiculous. Zekken's been played in as well. All the crosshair placement being slipped up and around here. Kang is worried about these swings. No way, Sentinels can't be getting away with this. Off onto the flank, they double up players as well. Smoke once more, the dart has to be broken. Nobody's sticking this one. Sassy finally under the fuse, but everybody dropped. EDG, the house of cards. Currently been fully against them in this map. Cut up onto the corner though. No util, that was contact by Kang.
Didn't hear the trip, didn't hear a cam, thought it would be open.
Flat down onto B.
Zellsis,
late.
A little late with it. I mean, usually Zellsis is going to be playing in the B connector. This time swapping things over, playing top garage. Was a little late on that, so there's chances that EDG could make something funky happen. Smoggy's going to go for that garage post-plant flank by the look of things.
First wave Used by Sentinel, clears out the side as well, so they've got peace of mind. Zenton's sticking this, got half already. Aftershock a little bit late. Trip is nice in case they do extend themselves out and try and take the fight past this point of almost no return. Very weak walls, flimsy paper mache at that Smoggy, off from the side, but Zekin cleaned it. At least diffusing, sticking all the way while the rest of his team does press that advantage, so there was some level of danger.
In their run at champs, he's absent right now.
Oh my goodness, okay, Kang. Fast play, zips his way past there. Zekin's going to be revealed up as well, but has to respect most of this one. Sassy trying to play off the drone that was used prior, gets the tag onto the one, but pushed back and away. But a player dropped on the side of Sentinels. This is the opening that EDG were praying for.
Kangkang's delivered them another one.
Second going for that re-exploration, looking for the info. Simon's tucked, only the shoulder. Smoggy's there to supplement as well, help him. Ow, what is that movement? Second just counters it, Simon. It's an absolute worldie with that shot right there. And the reload bullet straight down to the bitter end. Simon, quick to capitalize.
Some incredible shooting to get EDG back into things there. Tens is going to
all
of these rotates.
Footsteps.
He might be able to cut somebody off as well. Nobody was thinking about going through the garage. That would have been a death sentence. Tens is right here behind them, though. If EDG pause for a moment, he's going to have the backstab.
Yep. That smoke at C is going to be fading. They are not going to anticipate this. He is so quick right there behind them.
He needs his own smoke to fade.
And it will be dissipating. Opens him up, Simon! He's still there, though. This guy's been a savior for EDG in so many moments. The util just narrowly avoided. These are the fault line. John QT still here. But enough has been done, surely, for EDG, and they know it. Doubled up high-low. Simon taking that point. 4-piece in the end. That's what EDG needed.
Somebody else to come in and clean up what Kangkang delivers you with his own.
A few of them. So EDG feeling a bit weakened, but not deterred away from A.
They've also seen Simon's ripping it on the fake.
He's going for a fake here, just very much alone, just trying to cut that noise. The Hunter's Fury as well to try and sell this one. Players trying to be pulled back. Sassy, though, he realizes it. There's no follow-up off the back of it. He doesn't hear any footsteps, so Sentinels just contain that. Bring it down into the 4v4, slow it all the way down, realizing that they've lost control, but so is Kangkang. Losing track of where these players could potentially be. John QT puts him in his place and spraying him down through the cage. All revealed with the neural theft. It's gone tipsy-turvy. EDG. What should have been a great opener, they've overthunk, I think, into the round itself. Teacher's low, great movement. Slightly ajar, just making it so damn uncomfortable for these EDG
What's Smoggy doing?
It's all over the place. It's a bargain bin buy, but they're not on the same page with this one. Another fault line to set this up. Early angles from Kangkang, but he's revealed up. No one deals with that dart. The bolt and the stun just not quite connecting still. They want to square him, Simon! God, he's a miracle worker. Survives with barely a shred of health. As low as you can go. Cut noise now, go for the rest of the hit, but he has opened this site up now. In and away, John QT. Spraying in through the smoke as well. The slightest of reveals, and the bullets, it's not quite landing onto Kangkang, but potentially done enough here. Played Sassy in through, onto the flank, right through the wall. Lands it to the dome. Kangkang's been dropped now. 3 versus 3. Sentinels still make a go of things here. EDG trying to make that play. Good trade by Tens once more, but the smoke dropped down. Now with a paranoia, all added on top. Leaving it just down to Tens, and he's doing damage right through the wall. Isolates the one for bullet! Oh boy! Tens! It's a tap. Try and pull somebody util out as well. Fake the presence. Second! What? The cage helps him! How's he getting away? That's ridiculous! Glides himself back as well. And back and forth we go. It's EDG scrambling for a chance to get back into this. Second, he's still alive. Overdrive in his hands, and he wants more. Never bite of the apple. But discipline is called for in moments like this, and they temper the round down at that minute mark. Celsius, flash, re-exploration, re-clearing, double held though, and that is Sentinels getting ahead of themselves.
It is good information, however, for Sassy to start pushing out. Could he be the playmaker here?
Odin.
EDG are quite trapped. They don't quite know where everybody is. In fact, they don't know where anybody is.
Full map control lost. Sassy! Smoggy. He's watching for that peek. The slow walk around the corner.
Finally comes alive in this
30
map.
seconds left.
It's down to Celsius. 1v3 spam. Through into the smoke. Planned down from Simon, but the smoke was watched the entire time. And Smoggy's turn to really...
over!
Oh, no. Uchija dropped. The flank opened up. Sentinels, they know that they can play this one nice and safe.
Look at the retake cam. Broken. Nice awareness.
Yeah, shock dart has to be used to make sure to get rid of that one, though, but he planned down. Extension into the round, but this is it. This is where EDG make their stand. See if they can stay alive into this map.
You need good defensive utility here from the post planters. Paranoia, Aftershock has to be used to keep them back.
It's going to be used. Eye for an eye when it comes to the util. Aftershock even down into hell. Sentinels are being kept out of the fight. Kang will ensure that they don't step past it. Nobody right there with him. The feed is filled up, all with red. And Hunting chasing. John QT fully blinded. Kang empowered. EDG. Sentinels are going for the full migration.
John's heard the drone.
The attempt to pull some players away, at least nobody, they're seeing no signs of life. You feel so worried into this spot if you are EDG. Potentially even committing. I mean, full bodies, players making their way over towards the seaside. Guess what? Sentinels are ready to meet them. We'll see if the weaponry does make that difference here. With a stuns, util offloaded into the corner. Kang just can't really hold it down with a steady ground, but still, as those smokes fade away, overdrive! Kang! It's galvanizing. An electric performance from him, still adjusting tens. Difficult shot for him to hit. Sheriff in hand, 4-piece. Hunting down the remaining player, John QT, quaking in his boots! But he will not give up that ace. They don't want anything to do with it. Hunter's Fury could get some tags onto a few of these players. Yet Kang. He was dodging, was weaving, was hoping that it would be unaccounted for. And here's the reaction. EDG now making the moves over towards C.
Cage triggered.
Who gets the plant in this position? Okay, nobody throws the spike over to Simon. That's going to get them Rolling Thunder active. Do they play aggressive with it? We saw Sen fail in this spot before.
They're going to let it loose. Let it rip in through the back. But it's so easy to overextend if you're the attackers. That's broken. That's the trigger. They want to try and go for this one. Smokes in their face. Aftershock as well. Rifles in play at work. Fault line. And get Sentinels back into the fight and back into the fray. Cut them up. Paranoia is perfect. Players are there. Sliding, gliding forwards. Chichu is dropped to his knees. And for EDG has to watch in dismay as the spike is defused. The map is stolen away. Their map pick of Haven. And now...
But how much of that was knowing their opponent and playing standard comps? This is very non-standard from EDG, and we're going to get a clash on Mound.
But here's a hard read as the C's laid up and over!
Wow.
And yeah, paint shells.
No, I think they got the read on this.
Exactly. Splitting them to pieces.
You couldn't get a better indication of that. Presumably, they would have held it if the fault line had not come through, and they were actually aiming for Simon in that spot. But they may have just let it go anyway. Hard antied them.
The preparation is clear right now for Sentinels.
As it was the last time they played on Lotus, they hard read what Gen G were bringing out. Are they going to expect this contact play, though? Up into A. John getting pressured a little bit here, but there's always the pivot through that blue room. That's where they're going. End on B.
Smoggy earned himself a lot of space for the rest of his team, and yet that is an open avenue. As a flash and a peek from Smoggy, but nobody from Sentinels overstepping themselves. In fact, it's Smoggy who's worse for the wear. Might be calling for another refight. They are grouped up. I believe that's 3 players of EDG looking for the fight. They don't think Zekken is here. Cuts it up close. Boombot in his hands, lets it loose. Will take that contact in through the smoke. And the fight has to be taken. Risks in order for EDG to bail themselves out of this spot. But they just cannot hold a candle. They've already reached those heights and more. They've lifted a trophy. They've been in these spots, and they know what it takes to win a tournament. On display, I think, from that preparation, Tens. Doesn't overstep himself, just takes the one player. Kang dropped down and out. Zekken with a re-exploration, realizing that these players are split up, and now it's time for a bit of orb farming. Zekken is going to want to try and potentially get that ult closer and closer to being online. Simon chewing him up. Nice crossfire setup with him and nobody, and it's brought it down to a 1v3, but with nobody low enough, as it is, Boombot's spotting him as well. Did earn himself a gun and an open side onto C.
May have been slightly overzealous there, that push out through the smoke on C. Nobody's a great player. You can't give him openings like that. I
30
think the health
seconds
is just too low. It would be such a task for him to be able to get plant down and a free pick and reset and win the 1v2. Can just get spammed through any box, any slight door frame.
Nobody's just tapping this one. We've only 14 seconds left.
It looks like he's just trying to save the gun.
Trying to, yeah, save a gun, potentially catch that kill, but wasn't expecting to win. Give up this open space onto the site. Willing to try and play this one into the retake. With the bonus weaponry that they do have. They are grouped up as well, so 5 versus 5.
Pressure here towards Heaven onto John Cutie, who only has a ghost. That could be the win con for EDG.
Making sure that they can dominate a portion of the post plan here. John, seemingly aware of it though. He just catches that contact and he makes the call that they are playing up towards Heaven. The question is, does Sen have anything to deal with it? Bullets flying forwards. Luck of the draw was what they were hoping for. Simon doesn't need luck on his side. Flex the muscles, flex the mechanics. And with that, Sen, the round is dusted for them.
What a spot to put your breach in.
Yeah.
Smoggy getting on the board early up as well. Helping settle those nerves. They need a bit
into this spot, but all it takes is the one. They're going to make a go of things here as well. TP up and towards the top. The sees, I believe, was deaded a little bit too early there, so they give up that space once more. Fault line. Second level of things here for EDG, just in case there is that refight. Chichu clearing most of this. It's the Sentinels players, though. They're lying in wait, and the paranoia triggers the play. Still, Chichu still there! And this guy is ready to punish them for the hubris, thinking that they could take that fight open and out. Sassy going for that repeak. The trade not in sight. Players not ready to account for that one. Sassy's still here, man. Dropping himself back. Under 12 HP, but with 2 kills. Earns under the round, and under his belt, there's an opening now for Sentinels in the round.
Champ's form. Sassy is a dangerous beast. This is not guaranteed at all for nobody in Smoggy.
Going through the back of the side, you can tell that there's still levels of unknown. Even the C's just use preemptively
absolutely.
in case that somebody was in that smoke.
They're worried about hard anchors. They're thinking that John could be in that spot. Sen have actually doubled up here. Looks like it could well catch EDG off guard.
Alpha advantage though for EDG. And Sentinels themselves splitting up. Watchful eye from John. A couple of different avenues, but not pushed together! John, where have you pulled that one from? The brink seemingly, it leaves it all down to Smoggy. Time will start to tick onto this one here, and he's isolating his voice line and his players up, yet John stands tall to the pressure. And a rifle fire itself, he was not shaken.
Happening. If Simon rips his ult, all 3 players could be caught.
Seconds close to the showstopper, and he's gonna let him rip! Early on, well, at least not even getting the kill, damage done. Nobody's still surviving. Here's the rolling thunder, but they've crossed it up onto the corner. Intense and Sassy will punish them for stepping past that.
What a read from Sen that was going B early on. Fake rubble fight, and they've read the pivot over towards C here as well. They are not worried about a repop into B whatsoever. Taking spawn, waterfall, ready to fight these guys, deny the plant before it even comes through.
Hardest read.
John's so far ahead of the game.
Just following the sound cues as well, Simon. Sticking with the plant, he doesn't even get that. Bullets precisely lay it down exactly where they were needed, and Chichu's just praying, hoping that he doesn't receive the same fate. Spike planted. But it's not in a great spot here, and with the paranoia sweeping his way through, it's down to instinct and timing. Chichu still traded off. Only with the one. Smoggy smoked off and away in a crossfire to lay claim to his life. Sentinels. Sen. Just looking to player positionings, they've got them surrounded on every front imaginable. The door's going to open up with the Prowl as well, but that's going to be broken down early. Tens retreating out through the back of the side. That is risky by second. Satchel to save the day, and Sassy striking right where it hurts. Unaccounted for with a pin to play. And it just feels like there's no hope at this point for EDG.
Their economy is getting stretched.
Slower play though. Quad 4, it's pulled a lot of these Sentinels players out and away. Kankang's the only player in through the side. Chichu sticking with the TP in through. You're in the smoke already. TP crossed up under the corner. Kankang punished from the Odin spam. Directed him exactly to where Zelsis is going to be playing from, and the smokes are renewed in the face of Sentinels. This is a different look for EDG, but still finding it difficult to even get this plant down. Nobody with the plan. Nightfall now. Going to be used and expended. Sentinels trying to use this to get themselves in. And John QT scatters their ashes to the wind. Chichu will have to hold it down. Out through the back move before sound cut away. Not long for this world. Smoggy left. Isolating. Heads are popping. Sassy sticking onto the half. The util is good. Best chance in a long while. They've got to deal with Sassy. Not dead yet. Sassy sticking, but the swing coming through.
Another round where Smoggy gets impact. That's a huge turnaround from EDG in a spot where it looked like John off the back of Sassy's ultimate had done enough. EDG fight back, make sure that their eco isn't broken again. Get at least towards water. And now big rubble fight again. Sen have not really wanted to opt into these, but they have been doing some re-clear strats.
Tends to spot it out though. He opened the door himself as well to see if he could take a quick little peek. Like a gamble on his part with a pixel angle, but he's going to be retreating now. Throw into the back of the side. EDG, they want to go rapid. Increase of the tempo, overdrive as well. That's put in a squeeze, and TenZ tested in that moment. Can't offset EDG. Overwhelming him as the smokes dissipate too. John QT is fully unaware. Nades ricocheting, but it matters not. Smoggy right there when you least expect him.
And EDG do have it in them. What a beautiful change of tempo. Just when attack timeout, read Sen perfectly.
Great ideas. Center in position though to try and make it a go of this one with the flood defense. Rocket to the floor, and it finds the contacted target exactly Zekken was looking for. Almost beamed down into the process, but it's a kill advantage, and that puts the uncertainty in place here for EDG. It's a tap, and they want nothing to do with the A site.
I mean, ideally, they'd be looking to pivot over towards B, but they don't actually have any info there. Nobody playing B main. They'd have to be worried about so many angles if they did go for that pivot. They also only have one smoke on Smoggy right now.
Door opened and a cut. He's trying to bait Sen in for the re-exploration. Still the Haunt will reveal the hand. And Smoggy cuts it up onto the angle as they're trying to evacuate and make that pivot possible out towards B. There's still players at their backs. Sentinels could be ready to remove a few lives. Peek from Sassy. Haunt as well, doesn't get broken. And it's flanks on flanks, the timing's round and round we go. Simon reveals it. It's a foul line. He's trying to play his team back in, but from that angle, John QT is none the wiser.
He thought it was coming from sight.
Still a 2v2. Not planned to really for them well. Not at the baby door, Sassy's holding. Damage done to Zelsis. It's precarious. He feels like he can't really make the tap happen. Contact, high-low, EDG. Waiting to strike that time pressure. Sentinels, you're running out of wing cons. You've got to stick this at some point. Circle's got to be shrinking at some point here. Locking it down onto the corner and half not earned. It's EDG bringing it back. Response again from EDG to making the right reads in that regard.
Yeah, I think coming out of this tag timeout, it's actually worked against Kaplan. EDG are even happier knowing that there's 4 players committed to A at the beginning of the rounds.
There's going to be another level to this one. There was a Paranoia and a Prowler used by EDG. Rolling Thunder is earned, and Simon has it primed and ready. Up and over the top. A lot of angles to account for. That is composure from Kang, and he wants to take it one step further still. Defended. Up and over the shoulder. The IGL will put Kang to bed.
EDG, though, have taken so much space. Sen group up, re-clear through spawn. TenZ the backstab through waterfall as well.
Unorthodox with the angle, nobody! It is aim train to the skies. Yep, that Haunt, it still gets the value and still gets the damage done. Chichu can't land it with a spray, but eventually there. Stun still connecting, Sassy now sticking, defended, up and around, and Simon's left to do it all from that spot. It's just not possible.
Don't have the snake bite here. And actually, EDG, right as the barriers drop, start drifting away as well. They don't want any piece of that.
Slower play from EDG is going to be called. Throw a bit of caution into the mix. There's still danger for EDG, you know, despite the fact that it is a weaker buy. They have 3 rifles.
Absolutely. And if there was a round for Smoggy to find some impact, it would be now with Clovel online. This looks like a setup to try to punish people in Mound or B, depending on where Sen take contact first.
Pings. Yep, they saw John before he was even aware of the process. Pluck him out of the picture, taking him out with a head. As Paranoia is beautiful, blinding up into this spot. Smoggy putting the squeeze on alongside Chichu.
I love that read. Smoggy and Chichu there ready to backstab the people trying to punish Mound. EDG, their macro game has been remarkably good these last 5 or so rounds.
Then trying to go for round 2. While this is going on, though, it's EDG that somehow has been flipped up against him. With Chichu being dropped, Smoggy now has to contain and contest alongside the flank. Never go around with the door rotating. It's random sprays and rifles. Well trained. EDG, they know what it takes to get the round done, finished, clocked up, and sealed up with every single kill. Sassy scurrying to save the weapon into the next. This is EDG. John is committing this pit.
Okay, interesting play. EDG might want to accelerate here into C. It's only Zelsis. He can pop down the ult, but he might get pressured in waterfall.
Yeah. Nano Swarms gonna be deaded here. Divides up the site. Retake Viper Wall as well for Sentinels to try and play with. Makes it hard for EDD to chew through. Zelsis now. Lockdown. It's nothing to really clear this one. You have to take this one. Fighting straight up. Brute force on display. Blinded up though, and the util is overwhelming. Sheer cacophony of it. Nothing to clear it. Respect has to be shown. EDG now have to back away. Cut away with the sound cues. They don't even know if anybody's onto this one, but just peering up and over, spamming away, still earning their way into a round win. EDG and Kang ahead of the curve, unaccounted for. Up onto the...
As the Viper Wall goes up as well, threatening that Sen could be contacted behind that. As the Viper Wall drops, EDG start to realize it's not A at all. They reinforce towards C. Is there a pivot here? Are they going to fake C and hit B? That would leave Kang in a very exposed position.
Bill Kang. Maybe spotted. Yes, indeed. The season nade. It rebounds as well, but there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide out against it. Util combo. Unfortunate. Kang's going to be dropped in that first kill, handed over to Sen, but there's still chances for EDG. They're doubled up. It's a high-low waiting for the bodies to come flying forwards here. Playing up the sound cue. Stun was good and stopping them in their tracks. Sentinels cannot cross that line, and the barrier just not there for them. Zelsis time against him. And it's of the essence. It needs to be that defense. 4 seconds left. They've got to stick this one. It needs to be covered. Chichu, he wins the day. JungQT was not there in time.
Clearly a round victory in the pistol.
One has to be accounted for, but oh, Smoggy. I'm expecting that there could be players up in the smoke. The purpose of it, handed over a gun. Simon's good though.
Simon's been asked to do so much in this match, and he's been there for it every time. What a warrior for EDG.
He dishes it right back as well. A little bit of safety here for EDG, but while all that was going on, they did lose access to most of the map. The rotations that were made, Chichu, you can tell just from his positioning, he's scared of like an A-lurk, the potential of that.
EDG do not have that Viper to play around, which means no frequent wall or smokes in B. So I think this is going to be a theme of Sen's attack side, looking to see if they can contact up and get picks in this area. They're going to realize no one's home. They don't have smokes to work with themselves, apart from that Viper orb.
Plan here, JungQT. Sticks it down. Doors opened up from Simon, looking to contest as well. He's definitely putting the squeeze on these Sen players.
Cover going out.
As long as there's that caution from EDG, they should be able to find a way through this round here. Kill. And Chichu wins it out. Seconds quite there. Rapid onto the approach, but right behind him is Kang. Trying to take him out. Pesky problem up through heaven. Tap already, and the movement is nice. A jar, snappy from John, but Simon sticking to defuse. Full confidence in the rest of his team as well to cover that one still. He's hoping to potentially see some players scattered with 40 seconds. Sentinels' options are running dry.
They're going to have to go towards B. You can see the pings on the minimap. They're going to make it look like they're re-clearing onto rubble.
And trying to push his players back. What is that from nobody? Close quarters. It's where he thrives. Stinger in hand. A buy round for Sen. Full investment with the rifle. Simon, he's ahead of most of that util, but maybe just given Sentinels a win con and into the round.
Very similar to the prior round here. A 3v4, Sen at a disadvantage. Can they try to make something happen in post-plants? EDG need to play tight, together. Chishu, nobody, doubling up.
It's all split up by Sen as well. Everybody's just willing to take their own fights here. The rifle out open, what an adjustment. Nobody snaps to the sides. Dismisses John as easily as that. Sassy, his turn to step up, but a movement at charge just makes it so damn awkward. Tens up and ready. Smoke in his face, 60 HP. Not just a tap, it's a full stick as well from Kang with a smoke as well. The play around comes down to that RNG. And the shots and bullets just not landing for him. EDG
got advantage by being able to hold on to this space here, Rubble. And now they've given it to Sen. The rifles should sing, however.
Chichu is the only player locked down over towards A. He's called for the reinforcements. Smog is going to be joining him. Stray Bullet's going to be layered down. Door's broken though. There's a pivot from Sen. Essentially all players trying to make the moves over. Zelsis just a shoulder peeking out, trying to bait this shot. Simon can't maintain it. It's rattled back and forth here, but with the Sheriffs, Sentinels are trying to make this one work. An ultimate pulled out with a nightfall and a flank occurring right from the back. This will put the squeeze onto the remaining Sen players. Up to them to try and bail themselves out with the heroics, and an uncommitted damage done. Decay is still there. Sassy, weak as anything, doesn't know that the players are rapidly approaching. And they dismantle the hold. The Sen were just desperately...
Still expect them to treat this one as if it's mightily important, though, and stop EDG getting to 11. EDG leaving A utterly open.
Gone for a fight, though. Zelsis has been caught by this. The stun is perfect. Kang is right there. Up onto it. Paranoia slightly misses. Ultra expended. Ultra committed. And EDG have put everything into this. But they topple. They fall. Crumbled from the util in a hold of Sentinels. It's discipline that reins them in.
EDG, after the TAC timeout, have tried to change their defensive setups. Anything that they've gone for that was different to what they opened with has failed. And this is nice pressure. It's just keeping Simon anchored to the A site. Does it pull Smoggy away? No, he's going to read this.
Still at that angle. It's a brutal one to take. Crosshair placement, many angles you could be peeked from, but Smoggy feeling like he has to take it at that point.
And I think Sen will be super happy about this result. A 4v1 that Simon is not going to find winnable, and Sen still have huge ults to work with. And as you pointed out earlier, Simon, he ripped that one off.
It's handed Sen that 7.
What do you really have to stop these ults from getting value and getting at a site?
Yeah, look at the minimap, EDG. 4 players moved up, right and over. Simon priming the fault line. He's going to let it loose relatively early there, just to set up Kang onto the line. And Tens accounted for, spotted onto the corner. Here's the response, showstopper, ricochets, and claims Smoggy. Couldn't bound and bounce his way out of the fight. Creeping and crawling their way over towards the B site, now committing into this plan. They're going to hear these noise cues. EDG are relatively split apart, they're actually not connected.
You could kind of say the same for Sentinels, though. Zeken's going to back off. If he was playing that post plant on site, he would have been very isolated. And we saw John being disconnected on the lurk was critical in terms of how they lost the pistol round.
Fault line used here. Simon's position. They're going to know this is online. Lockdown has to be defended as well. Stuns, Ricochet in second. Couldn't hold a candle to it. Kang's there, spraying, spamming, praying that they can do it. But they can't break the lockdown in time. Respect has to be shown. Time starting to tick. Simon wants to increase the heat. The tempo there for it. Just making sure he's the distraction already. But the circle shrinks. Time escapes EDG into that spot. All goes wrong with no way to clear that lockdown. In the moment, still another tap. Sassy is waiting for round 2. Smoke to try and play themselves in and cut up the side. It's one from Tens himself, realizing they've lost control of most of this one. 50 seconds left. Stun in for the back. Nobody just can't land it. Shots going wide, up and around. Second high ground angle. And that slight pause that Sentinels are willing to place into the round. It's enough for EDG to just overextend themselves enough. Hand getting slapped right back.
Phenomenal patience from Sentinels. I don't think they had a way out of that to actually get the plant down if EDG continued to hold in the spots that they were in. Easy openings to the site.
Juju can drop the rifle too.
Right. So heading into round 20, this is where Sen are back.
Kang as well is going to be able to play this part towards A, but the door's in his face.
Do EDG go for some kind of quick pre-take as Sen get into sight? They got the pace to do it.
Yeah, most of it's going to be fading as well. Chichu does have that open access. Door's going to be broken down. Kang he's already ripped this one away, but it's traded. In kind. Tens is there. Satchel play. Beautiful. Tracking. Chichu's there. Aware of the fact that there could be that second player. And drops Tens out of action. 18 seconds left. TP forwards. That is crazy stuff by Chichu, but honestly, the pressure, it's all on Sassy. Reload committed, side by side. Needs to play this one in for the rest of his team. Accounted for, but time against him. It's only 4 seconds left, and at this point, it's against them. They realize it. EDG backing away. Nobody just has to survive, and it's a round win for EDG up to 11.
Another situation where
Day for him, though. Still holding on to control of this one, and seems like the read is right there for EDG.
But Sen also know there's no paranoia, no fault line, none of that business to stop them getting into the C site.
It's down to Smoggy. He's holding it down towards the back! Beaming him down. Still got the ult as well. It's not dead yet. Nobody up and over the top. Punish onto Tens. Nana swarms. Shredding them to pieces onto the back of the side here, but as the smokes dissipate, Smoggy is alive and ready to deny the entirety of the round. And Sassy once more time. Drifted there, the crosshair placement wasn't, but still he snaps it back. Well aligned, accounting for everybody.
Spike down A.
And Sen just cannot hold against it. Showstopper now used as desperation. Following the traces, Second takes the gamble. But all that play, all that work, it's an ult expended to no avail.
My ult is ready.
Zelsis dropped. The options are withering away. For EDG, they can feel it, they know it. Sunset is ready and waiting. It's primed for them here. Nightfall scatters, Tens is low, no more sound cues to work off of. Haunt lights him up. The TP to adjust, but again, he's no long for the world. Second, last one left. And he cannot dodge this util. EDG are ready to swarm, ready to collect. It'll take a miracle to stop it at this point. They are not ready to let it happen. EDG will not be denied a chance for greatness. He is going to be a lot asked of him. Smoggy is way ahead of the rest of most of his team, in fact, through the cage, almost claiming a second. But eventually put him down and out. Sitting back to the spectator seat. It's an open A site now for the plant. Simon commits to this one, but 4 players alive as SEN and they are grouped up with that pack mentality. Emphasis being placed now on Chichu. Second is low enough. He takes that first point, and precision is just unreal. Zelsis barely keep it all together. Dropped down to 48 health. A dart, a flash, all expended into his face, but the job is done. Chiju's done enough. Time taken away. The nade at the feet, isolating the fights away. It's getting tested. It's getting stretched, and nobody.
Doors open for somebody to make an improvement over what we saw previously and run away with things.
Take the initiative, take the lead so far, TVG. Not feeling pushed back, honestly, from all the signs of life. I mean, the knife earlier on did tag onto a bunch of the SEN players. They know they're stacking still. EDG not willing to be removed from this, but they still have about 50 seconds to work with. So, okay, fault line, refight, out and through with the Haunted to the back, but they don't really have the guns for the job. Chichu can just sidestep most of this. SEN are going to try and dish it out still with these pistols. Tens alive, Sassy follows up, blind. It's a bit delayed and late here from Smoggy. They still want to get active, though.
They know that everybody's here. They should be leaving. They should have left ages ago. And now when they finally make the maneuver, Tens is already reading it. He's already in front of them. That could have been a freebie.
Could have been. 11 half. He's waiting precisely to strike where it hurts most. Smoggy dropped down and forced to watch in horror as his team and the rest of the round getting let loose and slipping from their grasp. The plant, I mean, it has to be a safe one from Simon. Tucks it into the back. Sassy trying to get ahead of it. Seeking to delay. He knew the time pressure was of most of importance, but Zelsis has been brought into it now, a 1v2. Maybe the nerves can be settled for EDG.
He's had so many chances today, Zelsis.
And EDG do not let the round get away from them. Actually break any of this util.
One of the problems that I was having with the way that SEN were playing on this map, they were playing very passive holds on the B site.
Oh, the counting for John.
That's nasty.
Barely peeking out from the pillar, nobody will punish. Born in through the back though, that is a response by Second. He's want to put some more damage. And herd into these EDG players still out through mid. G2 attempting to pluck some of these players out of the picture. Tens still holding. And the rifle aim is there. Not enough to escape though. Ghost. The supplement of the fire by Smoggy does manage to trade that one out. Nade. It's out, but it does miss. Off to the side. Sassy sticking. Anything else to push this one back needs to be defended. Second, he can't really let this one loose. Still, it's half already onto the board. And the mid flanks and a fight from main. Damage is done. Value gain, potentially a round win at that fight. Forced out, Second with a tap, but he is traded in the end. Nobody winning for EDG.
Couldn't ask for better.
It's all about keeping it moving, keeping it going.
And they've turned it around massively from the kind of opening they had on Haven. But they lost 7 rounds in a row after Pistol.
Resilience is showcased. EDG not willing to take a step back here, but Kang might be regretting that one. Offset here, overdrive is available. Flash through into the back. That's Simon looking to hold his own ground against this. Smoke dominated. Nobody's still trying to command that position. But he falls. Simon will have to retreat now. His back's against the wall. Smoggy defending at least a portion of it. Aftershock into the corner. Tenuous here for EDG, but they still have those rifles. It's going to be a big advantage working potentially for them. Picked up with the upgrades. JungQT fires straight back at them. And the bait and switch leaping into the fight. Back to this one, they spot him. Nobody. Past it.
The cam's always going to get cleared there because people are always watching for 10s on top of the box.
Yeah, it's a spot that he loves.
And this time, it's the same kind of hole in SEN's defense. And so that means that they're forced to play a lot of B retakes.
There's danger here.
There is, even with full rifles for Sentinels, there is danger because these B-lane post plants are so overpowered on
Kill
Sunset.
trips. I mean, nobody's got an ult. He's already getting into position. Be able to play this one. And Sen don't have a lot of time to work with. Kill trips. Chewing up these players. Rooted into spot from Sentinels. They've got to find a way to navigate it. Sassy, defusing, sticking, reveal up. Hunter's Fury, Sassy! My God! It's down to the wire, down to the brink. Haven't! But Zelsis is the last chance for him! The gang!
Is anyone going to be able to control the backside of B?
Not playing the Cypher offside. JungQT gonna get caught. No command emanating out. That means the trips go online too. We're hoping to play some kill trip setups as well.
And they drop off. Tens was thinking about trying to get into backside there, and the rest of his team wasn't willing.
Once more, Sen are going to be tested. This time, we're trying to hold on for these retakes as well. Nobody. That first point of contact moves the one the trade online out of Nightfall. Scatters his way through, in through the main angle. Noise, cut away. Zekin with the defuse, but he's pushed back from some form of the util. Overdrive popped off. Kang! Goodness me! Tears them to pieces. TP up and over. Tenstat is precise, and he's got to be keen, surgical. Whipping his way through and behind, he's going to try and defend this one. JungQT brought down, but a half earned. There's a chance and a potential. G2.
Be main here as well. Looking to try to put pressure once again onto Chishu.
Spot on the one, shock darts flying forwards. Again, the setup is not over towards that direction, but a fight one out with Sassy dropped. Open access now towards the A site.
A sharp from Smoggy.
Kill trips though. Doesn't have the gun for the job. It's just damage. Chews up Kang. Not enough to deliver the kill. JungQT's going to be kicking himself.
There are isolated players around here. Nobody's isolated. Chishu is as well, but they're getting good lurk timing.
Yeah, great lurk timings. At that, the trade maybe a little bit more impressive there from Zelsis. The fact that he does that with the classic in hand, but he won't be able to get much more. Done from the edge. I mean, Zekin. He glides, hoping to use the precision. Maybe land a kill there, but it's all being covered.
Kang picks up 10s in mid and picks up the 6th. You leave that job to like Sassy with the Prowlers. It's quite backwards compared to how most teams are doing it. But they're going to get Zekin posted there as well, and he's mighty fierce.
And this is the typical setup. Sentinels going for it. They have nothing to watch market or top mid. This was getting exploited towards the end of the map by DRX when Sentinels were going up against them.
And I said that EDG love doing this kind of thing. Probing, seeing if they can get Kang or Chishu into this kind of spot. Does Sen deal with it?
Zelsis is in position. It's going to be a fault line off the back of that with Zekin, I should say. Collecting that first kill. No noise made.
I mean, they can hear the neon through spawn.
From EDG's part of things. Kang punishes it. All the footsteps pointing towards it. Rolling Thunder is to try and shore up, stem the bleeding.
Yeah,
stop it in his tracks.
You can't follow up on that. That's just to stop EDG from running away with the round. That's purely for map control, the breach ult.
It just feels frantic from Sentinels at this point.
But at least Tens is in an anchor position. They're actually looking to hold back B site this time.
Paranoia swoops its way forwards here. There's 38 seconds to play with. Only mid-control for EDG.
And nobody's calling a pivot back to the A side, putting stress on Sassy. He's still got Horn, Seas, ways of slowing this down.
Sassy will be in hot water. Now to him, the util, the gun into his hand, whether or not he can push this back. Dodging. sidestepping. Most of the util gives up access to the site, but as long as he hold on to elbow control, and he can't even do that. Chichu comes around the corner like an absolute Ferrari. Celsius will punch it right back. Kang flatlined and dropped. 3 versus 3 is where we stand. The pressure now on to SEN for this retake, all grouped up. Cam broken. Nobody noted. Smoke in their faces, spamming, spraying away, trying to pave the way to success for Sentinels. They need RNG on their side. Only the one, and they're just getting collected, corralled into the corner. Steamrolling over them.
The change-up here in the defensive setup is not large, but they've tucked TenZ and John Cutie into market, anticipating a B split. And it does look like that's what EDG are cooking up.
I'm spotting it. Fault line slowing them down here. It's a refight called Sentinels. They want to get straight into the fight. Clash called for, and 1 out. Kang might have something to say about it. Brings it to the 2 versus 3. Spike still drop down to the bottom section. The squeeze of SEN, they have full control over towards mid. Will take heroics, and with the damage done, weakened up, Kang cannot stand against most of it. Nobody. Trying to play bait and switch as well, taking that fight. Backstepping, hoping he can isolate at least one of them, but the crossfire setup should be intact. Foolproof from Sentinels at this point as well. Baits that peak. Seeing if he can spot these players out. Finally, Zekken. Morale though, high spirits from the Sentinels players. Handshake with a util. Either side really taking too much space.
And the same defensive setup again. John, TenZ in market.
Nobody have a reclear, Zekken.
That is difficult to do. The box is super spammable. Hard to get out in that kind of area, but Zekken barely takes a tickle.
Well, now util being used, including the flash as well. It's a pretty big indicator to EDG. Most of the players stacked over from SEN over towards A main. And surely they don't overstep themselves. They're going for another fight as well. Contact plays on contact plays.
A massive fight in A. EDG are trying to make it feel like they're in mid and bait out this reclear from SEN.
And they're just holding for the peak. What util did they even have as well? Contact cord as well. Full line is late. Celsius. util doesn't help him. It's EDG with the initiative in that fight. And with it, you can sit down and stare at it, but it's a 5 versus 2 scenario. Sentinels have no real chance back into this round.
Their economy is not in a terrible spot. If TenZ and John were any closer to the action, they might give it a try. But EDG have outplayed them again. The story of this half early on was SEN giving away too many opportunities, but now that they're playing a little bit of a better game, EDG are just pulling it back out of their grasp. The call in there from nobody is so strong. Faking like they're doing the same stuff. Throwing that same market util. And John, he is not holding on to this weapon. He's got players behind and again.
Yeah, it's another read. As soon as they hear that the Neon's in through mid being played into that, they know that they're not going for the typical A main hold that Sentinels like to do. They know that they're going to be playing off-site, trying to go for the retakes. So EDG can take their time with it, contact most of the way. The trips will not be oh, as I say that, I wasn't expecting them to get Valley. They spotted them out onto the corner. Still John takes down Smoggy, drops him to the floor.
Spike planted.
So overall coming through onto these guys. Look at those pings. Look at the angle that nobody's going to have.
And they're ready to fight this one right as the retake is occurring. Tags up into a few of these players. Hunter's Fury has to be dodged and juked and avoided. Let's skip rope over it. Kang though, still here. Chichu takes up the space, stands tall, stands strong, and will not be denied anything at all. It's a monstrous performance from many individuals on EDG, but full credit to the entirety of this squad. Between 9-3 or 10-2. Either way you slice it is bad.
Celsius has his ult online. It looks like they want to play a more aggressive defensive B.
Oh, trying to send it. As soon as Simon uses his ult, that's the trigger to try and slow them down, but there will be no follow-up. And Chichu, my God! This guy, he won't be denied. Playing in through Kang. He's hungry for more. There's blood in the water sense, but punishment in sight. Assassi will drop him eventually. Down to his knees, but it's still EDG in control. Backside players, B main still theirs. We've seen SEN perform miracles, but this, just a little too unlikely. When EDG are setting up pop players like this, contesting, Squeezing Sen for absolutely every inch of space. There is no chance in hell for them here.
We've done some like mid-rounding and secondary calling in the past. Sentinels have a mountain to climb.
We've heard the phrase, one round at a time is going to have to be the case here for Sentinels. Being pushed back immediately. Signs of resistance, EDG are holding this one. Plenty of players now to try and take this contact and take these fights. Names stricken off the record with nobody leading it for his team. And they want even more. Not content with just laying claim to just a few tens. Drop down.
Jump forwards from Sen. And EDG are going to be happy to collect.
Sentinels banking everything on this round, of course. You have no other option. No room to breathe. Fault line's good though, Chichu with the cage to cover. His own cross here. Does give up access over towards B, so full side control plan going down and through the back of the sides! Oh my! Chichu, the util, just augments the hold and puts the squeeze on the Sentinels team. But listen, they've been battered and bruised before, but not quite like this. They have to barrel their own way past it, but with subpar weaponry and one left alive, Second, miracle to ask for. Picks up the weapon, but not long again for the world and the round. A 12th is gained and granted. EDG are on the precipice.
You could even bank up a bunch of ults and just try to finish things out in one
No stress.
glorious moment.
No stress at all. Outlaw in the hands of Kang. Slowed all the way down, and Second's desperate for the kill. Does hunt it down, but EDG are going to be hot on the heels of all these players. The 4-player flank. Ready and waiting to pounce on any of these players. Zelters with just the one before he's dropped, but info given up over to them. Tens now with that task. Challenge ahead of him. Players ready to fall here. G2 responds, returns with a fire. Just puts that scare.
There.
There's a reason why we call comebacks in this particular spot an impossibility. Listen, I'm no stranger to that word, but use it often. EDG with rifles in hand, well trained now onto all these spots. The Prowler, it's an in and an opportunity, but immediately defensive util. We were pointing it out, the paranoia is perfect to push back. There's pressure applied onto these EG anchoring players and still trying to take the fight up through the gut. Different directions here, still beaming them down. Simon dropped to his knees, maybe handed them over that weaponry in all tens. Collecting the kills off through the flank, overdrive. Finds his mark. The tracking is immense.
Player standing. Spike
So Sentinels will be able to stay alive a little bit longer.
And the pathing is great. Sen's attack side is fantastic on Sunset. There's no advantage. Not wanting to show a specific strat, save it for a better rifle round, save it all, and suddenly it can come crashing down. But Sen have found their way into the A site fairly early on here.
The sound cues are going to be found! My God! Kang! He's doing them dirty now. Can't quite gain the rifle, but picking apart the Sen players. The offense, the attack, the aggression is met. Tens has to answer, and will do just that!
What a 3K! Stuffed into a corner. Leaves it all down to nobody. Look prime and ready in a 5v3 for EDG to close out. But it seems unlikely that it will be this round that takes EDG forwards. Tens, what a monster.
Bring them down.
Over the Prowler. Util used too, but it's paranoia immediately going forward. Chichu! This is his area, this is his domain. But he is cleaned up nevertheless. Chopped up into pieces and spitting them all the way out. Nobody seeking to plug those gaps. Will go down as a result of it. 4 players still left to stand here by Sen, but chances for EDG still. Flash is good, crossing back in through main. EDG not able to catch any of them. This is the crosshair placement, but they are rapidly now getting themselves into position. Onto the site, stun is excellent. Flash though, peek immediately there. To be traded out and over, spraying them down with the rifles. Heroics and a bit of luck at play. EDG are hoping for it. Through the box now. Simon
Player standing.
and Smokey. They can't get it done. So
At the very beginning of the year that SEN were taking the offseason seriously and looking like they could win games in difficult spots.
Yeah.
That ended up culminating months later in a trophy at Madrid. They can do these kind of things, but it's not consistent, and really it shouldn't be possible.
On a stage like this as well, when there's never been more pressure. And this is a trap play if I've ever seen one. Paranoia sweeps, stun alongside it, rattling with the Sheriff in hand, chewing up the Sentinels players. Not many options are available to you, and Celsius, he didn't have a clue. Blinded up, Spike dropped down into the laps of EDG. This is exactly what we were talking about. There is no room to breathe when there's up to 12 rounds. EDG can feel it. Spike picked back up, earns itself. Sassy, a lot to adjust and overcome. Tens is down and out. EDG, they end it all. They take it over that line.